Hello everyone, I'm Liz from French Toast and Books, and today I am doing a massive holiday end of the year book haul. I have 17 books in total, and it encompasses what I got at the end of November, what I accumulated in December, and also Christmas presents. So we're going to get started with that, and then I'm also going to talk about the holiday Booktube-A-Thon at the very end of the video. So let's get started with this massive book haul, and I was trying to get a shot of all 17 books, and it was kind of a catastrophe, so it didn't work. But let's get started. The first book we have here is Something More Than Night by Ian Tregillis. This book is about angels trying to bust out of heaven and find a human patsy to blame it on. The next two I have here is part of a series, and it's called The Secret Society and The Trust by Tom Dolby. And it is about this society that turns all of your ambitions and dreams into reality. They have this intense initiation where you have to get an ankh tattooed on the back of your neck, and there is a body that turns up with the same ankh, and it's this big mystery about what happened. Next I have Illuminate by Amy Agresti. This book is about a girl named Haven who moves into the Lexington Hotel in order to fulfill her internship. She meets this guy named Lucian and kind of falls for him, but the hotel residents aren't exactly as they seem, and she finds out that the people she is employed by at this hotel is actually in the business of buying and selling souls. The next book I have is Wither by Lauren DeStefano, and it's where our world as we know is plagued with a genetic virus to where the men only live to be 25 and the women only live to be 20. So this puts the women in disposition to be married off in mass polygamist marriages to preserve the races and pump out as many babies as they can while researchers try to find the cure. It centers around a girl named Ryan who turns 16 and has to be forced into a marriage, and she doesn't want that. She wants to be with her twin brother and look for the cure. Next I have The Body Finder by Kimberly Dirting, and it's about a girl named Violet who sees dead bodies, specifically dead bodies that have been murdered, and she didn't realize its importance until there's a serial killer that goes on a rampage in their hometown. Now she feels that she's the only one that can solve all these murders and find the killer. Next I have The Plague by Joanne Dame. And I am just going to show you the inside jacket of this cover because this book is beautiful. This book is about a girl named Nell who looks exactly like the princess of her kingdom, Princess Joan. And she is pressured to be her body double in dangerous situations, but then the plague hits and Princess Joan dies from the plague. And so now Nell is faced with a huge decision. Pretend to be Princess Joan and marry the prince, or tell her whole kingdom that the princess died. These next two are part of a series. There's The Immortal Rules and The Eternity Cure by Julie Kagawa, and this is a vampire series where the vampires have taken over the world and treat humans like cattle. It centers around a girl named Allison who her only reason for living is her hatred for these vampires and killing them off. However, she's attacked and turned into a vampire herself, and now is faced with hiding her true identity of a vampire to join a mass of humans in looking for the cure so she can be a human again. This last book is the final book that I accumulated in November, and it is Black as Night by Regina Doman, and it is a fairy tale retelling. It's the second book in a series, so I have to go and track down the first one. but it's essentially a Snow White retelling. These next books are what I got at the beginning of December while I was Christmas present shopping. And first we have The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. It's a middle grade novel about stolen children and fighting the good fight. The next I have is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and it is the entire series all in one book in chronological order. Next I have Sweeney Todd in book form, and it actually talks about the history of how Sweeney Todd came to be, and has all the original publications and stories about this great play. And I have the complete science fiction treasury of H.G. Wells because I love the time machine so much. I snagged this, and it has all of the great classics like The Time Machine and The Invisible Man and War of the Worlds. And finally, I have my 3 Christmas present books, where I got BioShock the Rapture by John Shirley. My really great friend Michael bought it for me because he knows I love BioShock so much. And this is the beginnings. This is the origin story of how Rapture came to be. And then my really great friend Zach got me The Queen of the Tearling and The Invasion of the Tearling because I gave him a list of books I wanted for Christmas, and he picked the best cover. So you go, Erica Johansson and your publishing company, for making the prettiest cover out of my Christmas list books so that I could get these. Last but not least, I will talk about the holiday Booktube-A-Thon and what books I plan on reading for this great little 3-day Booktube-A-Thon. The first requirement is read a book with a white cover. And I'm going to do a little bit of a cop-out because there's not a whole lot of white on this, but the back is white, and it is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley because I have always wanted to read this, and it is a little push to get me to read the original great Frankenstein story. The second requirement is read a follow-up book to something you enjoyed this year. And I just finished this book last night. It's The Death Code by Lindsay Cummings. And I wanted to count this as it, but I kind of finished it last night, early 27th morning. So I'm not going to count it, but I'm going to count this as my follow-up, which is Alienated by Melissa Landers. And it's because I'm going with a sci-fi, I know it's sci-fi dystopian to sci-fi aliens, because it's a genre I'm trying to get more interested in because I've had a lot of ups and downs in the sci-fi genre. So I'm starting to read this one right now. And the third requirement is read a gift. So I am choosing to read my BioShock Rapture book as this gift because honestly most of the books I own were a gift to myself. Okay. The fourth and last requirement is read 3 books. So I have my 3 books right here. I'm already working on one, and I will see if I can do this. I will do my best. So we'll see what I can do, what I can come up with, what I can read these 3 days, and I will see you guys soon. Goodbye. Oh God. Okay, well that didn't work. We'll try something else.